Flight disappearance without wreckage. A flight disappearance without wreckage happens when an aircraft vanishes and no immediate debris is found. It often begins with normal communication followed by sudden silence. Historically, limited tracking over oceans made these cases more common. The disturbing part is the complete absence of physical evidence at first. Investigators rely on radar data, flight paths, and last signals. In many cases, answers only come years later, if at all. Mid-air structural breakup mystery. A mid-air structural breakup mystery refers to an aircraft breaking apart while still in flight. This can be caused by extreme pressure, mechanical failure, or explosive decompression. Debris patterns are studied to understand how the breakup occurred. Historically, some of these cases changed aviation safety rules. The disturbing element is how instantly everything happens. There is often no time for communication or recovery. Unexplained cockpit silence incident. An unexplained cockpit silence incident occurs when pilots suddenly stop communicating with air traffic control. The aircraft may still be flying normally at that moment. Investigators use flight recorders to rebuild the final minutes. Historically, these cases include both technical and human factors. What makes it unsettling is the absence of final words or signals. The silence itself becomes a major clue. Controlled flight into terrain mystery. A controlled flight into terrain mystery happens when a working aircraft flies into the ground, mountains, or water. The plane is technically functional, but awareness fails. Weather, miscommunication, or navigation errors are often involved. Historically, this led to major safety system upgrades. The disturbing part is that nothing appears wrong until impact. Investigators focus on how awareness was lost. Runway disappearance incident. A runway disappearance incident occurs during takeoff or landing when an aircraft vanishes near an airport. These are highly controlled phases of flight. Investigators examine runway conditions and mechanical systems. Historically, improved surveillance reduced such cases. The disturbing part is how fast a normal operation turns into a crisis. Evidence is often limited due to timing. Hijacking turned catastrophic flight mystery. A hijacking turned catastrophic flight mystery involves unlawful takeover of an aircraft. Control may shift away from pilots during flight. Communication often becomes unclear or stops entirely. Historically, these events reshaped aviation security worldwide. The disturbing aspect is human intent driving the situation. Investigators rely on partial recordings and radar tracking. Extreme weather crash mystery. An extreme weather crash mystery involves accidents caused by storms, turbulence, or severe atmospheric changes. Weather can shift rapidly and overwhelm systems. Modern forecasting reduces risk but cannot eliminate sudden events. Historically, weather has caused many aviation disasters. The disturbing part is how quickly conditions can change. Investigations focus on meteorological data and flight behavior. Pilot disorientation incident. A pilot disorientation incident happens when pilots lose spatial awareness in flight. This often occurs in clouds, darkness, or poor visibility. The human brain can misinterpret motion without visual references. Historically, training improved awareness of this risk. The disturbing part is that even experienced pilots can be affected. Instruments become the only reliable guide. Fuel exhaustion mystery crash. A fuel exhaustion mystery crash occurs when an aircraft runs out of fuel mid-flight. Causes can include miscalculation, leaks, or planning errors. Engines fail once fuel is gone. Investigators review fuel logs and flight planning. Historically, stricter fuel rules were introduced after such cases. The disturbing part is how preventable many of these crashes appear later. Unknown debris ocean recovery case. An unknown debris ocean recovery case involves aircraft wreckage found long after a crash. Ocean currents can spread debris across huge distances. Recovery teams use drift models to locate origins. Historically, deep-sea recovery is slow and difficult. The disturbing part is the long gap between disappearance and discovery. Even recovered parts may not explain everything. Black box data mystery interpretation. A black box data mystery interpretation occurs when flight recorders are recovered but do not fully explain the crash. They capture cockpit audio and flight data. However, they cannot show full human reasoning. Investigators combine multiple data sources for conclusions. Historically, black boxes improved aviation safety greatly. The disturbing part is that key answers can still remain missing. High-altitude hypoxia event crash. A high-altitude hypoxia event crash happens when oxygen levels inside the aircraft drop dangerously. This can cause confusion or unconsciousness. Pressurization systems are designed to prevent it. Historically, Some accidents were linked to oxygen system failure. The disturbing part is how silently it affects everyone on board. Control can be lost without immediate awareness. Communication system total failure incident. A communication system total failure incident involves complete loss of contact between aircraft and ground control. This can be caused by technical faults or system breakdowns. Without communication, tracking becomes difficult. Historically, satellite systems improved reliability. The disturbing aspect is the isolation of the aircraft. Investigators rely on radar and onboard systems. Navigation system corruption mystery. A navigation system corruption mystery occurs when onboard navigation data becomes incorrect or unstable. This can lead to wrong flight paths. Modern aircraft rely heavily on digital navigation systems. Historically, earlier systems were less complex but also less automated. The disturbing part is how small errors can lead to major consequences. Investigators analyze software and sensors carefully. Unidentified radar signal disappearance. An unidentified radar signal disappearance happens when an aircraft suddenly vanishes from radar screens. This can be due to signal loss or system gaps. Investigators compare multiple radar sources. Historically, older radar systems had limited coverage. The disturbing part is the exact moment of disappearance. There is no visible transition or explanation. Mid-air fire emergency crash. A mid-air fire emergency crash involves fire breaking out inside or outside the aircraft during flight. Fires can damage systems quickly and create smoke hazards. Emergency procedures are designed to handle such situations. Historically, fire-related incidents led to major safety improvements. The disturbing part is how fast fire can spread in confined space. Pilot medical emergency crash. A pilot medical emergency crash occurs when a pilot becomes suddenly incapacitated during flight. This can result from heart issues or other health problems. Modern aircraft often have two pilots for safety. Historically, medical emergencies have contributed to several accidents. The disturbing part is loss of control due to human health rather than mechanical failure. In-flight structural failure mystery. An in-flight structural failure mystery happens when parts of the aircraft weaken or fail during flight. This can involve wings, tail sections, or control surfaces. Stress and fatigue are often contributing factors. Historically, such failures led to stricter inspection rules. The disturbing part is how quickly structural integrity can collapse. Unexplained diversion before crash incident. An unexplained diversion before crash incident refers to cases where an aircraft suddenly changes course without clear reason before disappearing or crashing. This can be seen in radar data or final communications. Investigators study cockpit recordings and weather conditions. Historically, some diversions remain partially unexplained. The disturbing part is the lack of clear explanation for the change in direction.